Hello and welcome to another Budget Model Railways video, and this time an update on my slightly bigger N-gauge layout, which as you can see we've made quite a bit of progress on. Now the reason we made progress is, as per our last video on Sunday, I cleared the big messy cupboard that was there, tidied it up, threw it away, and me and Doug very carefully slid this along and down, which was quite interesting, involving physics and a cushion, which has given me a space here for this to live in, and I didn't want to leave it on the floor. And I've had a bit of a tidy up, a little bit by my standards. If you saw Sunday's video, you'll know what I'm talking about. So here we go then. So we've got quite a bit of the basic planning done of this now. So I haven't got the top train running because I haven't wired it up yet, if I'm honest, because the track is not fixed. This was just to show you what it'll look like. So we're going to have a little hill there with the viaduct, and obviously that train will then run around the viaduct. This is the only area at the moment I don't really know what I'm going to do with. I haven't decided whether I'm going to put a town in there, which I quite like the idea, or whether I'll do a rock face or something. The rest of it though is coming along quite well. Now you'll see that I'm doing it in my usual way. I build a backbone and a skeleton. I don't worry too much about how I'm going to plan it. I like it to suggest as I build it, and it also helps the layout to look like the train's in the landscape rather than on the landscape. So we're going to have a hill here. This is our bridge, N-gauge bridge sides. There'll be a pillar in the middle, so the road will then run down through here, across at a level crossing. Now where I am quite lucky in heights is obviously I can lift this continental style because the station would be on a higher level, so the road won't have so far to drop. So we're also working on 3D printing a goods shed, which we haven't got quite finished, but that will sit there. So that'll be our station area, possibly with a canopy under the bridge. I've decided to put a little town here. But this is, again, I'm going to put on at least one, if not two layers of foam board to give me a different height again. I quite like the idea of using the tower block because although this I'm going to try and do as a quaint little village, you know, we all suffer from this fact that in the 1960s somebody went and built a hideous building. So I quite like the idea of that. And then we'll have the factory, possibly another road running there with another level crossing, because as I've said, it's all about really trying to set scenes when you've got a little layout. So this will be one scene: hill, signal box, level crossing. Then we'll have the station as another scene, the bridge as another scene, perhaps some woodlands through there, past the village, past the industrial site, into a hill. This is going to have a tunnel mouth, I guess, about there and there, and then that'll disappear around. And it's all been made out of foam board and cardboard, very rigid, doesn't weigh anything. Kato track was its usual great self. Just to answer somebody's questions, it's all held down with super glue, and I've found that seems to work fine, especially once it's ballasted. And I must admit, I stood out here last night for about half an hour just watching trains go around, so it is going to do exactly what I want. What's quite nice is because the trains are running at slightly different speeds and in two different lengths of track, they end up passing at different times, so you get lots of changing views. I've got a double head then there with, I've worked up a bit of a system for these locos of ours. So that's a Mark 1, Type 1, because that's the first one we built. That's the Type 1A, because I've taken the windows, made the windows bigger. That's the Type 2 with the wider body, because it's the second one we made. And then the Bobo will be a Type 3, because it's the third one we made. And I've actually got from Train Tracks another one of these chassis on order, so I can build another Type 3. And another one of the new chassis so I can build another Type 2. That is the best chassis. They're worth the extra £10 they became. Very smooth and quiet. But the Bobo one is surprising. It's the old 11105. I have had to add quite a lot of weight, lead weight in there. But once you add lead weight, that pulls almost as well as the brand new chassis. And it's about £5 cheaper. So I'm going to end up with quite a nice little stable of locos. Then obviously we've got the little steam one on top. And we're having quite good fun. I've got lots of different plans for these flat wagons. We've already got logs and tanks. So I've got a few more ideas on those, and we've got a few more wagons planned. So quite a bit of progress actually. And it'll come along quite quickly, I hope, like the other one did. So we should soon see some scenery going down. Got to find some buildings to do the village. Got to decide what to do with that area. But the nice thing is it won't stop me building the rest. What is going to slow it down is building this, because each one of those is individual. Each one of those is individual. There's 16 arches, and there's 500 bricks. There's 8 arches, 2 sides of each. So it is going to take a while, but it's going to look quite nice. But I'm quite pleased with that. The proportions are right, a bit like making a painting. You've got to get everything balanced. And there we go. So hopefully fairly soon we'll be able to do a little update on this, if I don't just spend my evenings watching trains go around instead of building layouts. But definitely Kato is, you know, is what's opened up N for me. The utterly reliable track and the extremely reliable loco chassis. And then of course the big difference has been 3D. So when I first looked at N, I got no way really of doing these locos cheap. Because we can now 3D print, that's completely changed everything. Because we can get a number of very cheap, relatively cheap, well-running locos, and we can get very cheap, by N-Gage standards, rolling stock by putting our own bodies on the Pico chassis. So there you go. Thank you as always for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Just as a quick little PS, so this is just to show you how serendipity plays a big part in the way we plan things. Doug went to take the thumbnail and the lens cap dangles on a piece of string, and he took the 3 wagons off. And then jokingly said to me, you're going to need the breakdown train out now. So of course straight away I thought, that's what we'll build next. We'll get one of these long chassis and we'll build a crane, and we'll put a little wagon to go with it, and we'll think about doing an engineer's vehicle for the chassis. And there you go, that's a whole new idea for N-Gage, just because Doug's lens cap took 3 wagons out. And that's the way we seem to plan things here at Budget Model Railways.
Hi, thanks for watching the video and for the nice comments. Click on the left for a previous video in this series, click on the right for another video you might enjoy, and please don't forget to click to subscribe, like, comment, etc. Thanks again.